Hell is about to be unleashed upon the earth. Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is November 14th, 2020, and so I've done a couple of videos, Bible studies, like a snare coming upon the earth, and the virus being the trap that has entrapped the entire world to go along. And if you want to get out, you got to jump through hoops, but you're never going to get out. They're never going to let us go back to normal. So let's see the next top 10 for today. So this article is from November 8th from NPR. President-elect Biden has a plan to combat the virus, and here's what it is. This is the part I want y'all to see. Specifically, Biden's plan calls for empowering scientists at the CDC to help set national evidence-based guidance to stop the outbreaks, as well as making significant investments in vaccine distribution, testing, and the creation of public health workforce to carry out contact tracing and other services. So he wants some kind of national mandate and more contact tracing. Y'all think we're going to get more freedoms? They're going to find more and more ways to convince the public why they've got to encroach on you. Now look at article number 2 with Elon Musk. Elon Musk took 4 virus tests in one day. Apparently he's coming down with cold symptoms, it says in the article. And he took 4 tests in one day, and 2 came back positive and 2 came back negative. Elon Musk, crazy little man, says something extremely bogus is going on with the COVID test after taking 4 in one day. Tech billionaire and Tesla CEO Elon Musk blew the whistle on coronavirus testing on Twitter, announcing he had tested both positive and negative multiple times in the same day, eliciting the ire of many on the platform in doing so. Now, this is from the Western Journal from yesterday. Musk is known, Musk is known as an eccentric man, as many billionaire techies are, but his ability to think independently and tact, which is probably why he's a billionaire. In recent years, he has slammed lockdowns and engaged in commentary denigrating and overreaching government. Musk, 49, is perhaps one of the most influential people to question the precision with which medical professionals are able to diagnose the virus. In fact, Musk actually used the word bogus to describe his experience with being tested. Something extremely bogus is going on. Was tested for the virus 4 times today. 2 tests came back negative, 2 tests came back positive. Same machine, same test, same nurse. Rapid antigen test from BD. Curiously, Musk was not censored by fellow Silicon Valley tech billionaire and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. So I just wanted y'all to, he says, a man going by the name Zach asked, could this be why we're seeing such a major spike? Musk quickly replied, if it's happening to me, it's happening to others, he tweeted. I'm getting PCR tests from separate labs, results within 24 hours. Can you believe? Now, the articles after this third article are going to get more draconian, more 1984, more Orwellian, more Animal Farm, Brave New World, more biblical. Top UK politician, workplaces, social venues may ban Britons without vaccination certificates. Okay, so Britain is being told they might not be able to move around or work without a certificate to prove that they tested negative. A senior conservative MP has said it is possible that once mass vaccination is underway, workplaces and social venues may ban entry to those who do not have a certificate to prove that they have been vaccinated. So we are moving into, you're not going to be able to function in society if you don't go along with their beast system. But don't think it's limited to the UK. Look at article number 4. This is from Politico. Let's get the November 13th. Businesses brace for mandatory workplace safety rules under Biden. And guess what some of those mandatory safety rules are going to be? Implementing such a rule is something the new president could do quickly, even without Senate-confirmed leadership at the Labor Department or OSHA. So it doesn't matter if Republicans are going to have control of the House or the Senate. Biden can just do it. President-elect Joe Biden has vowed to issue, he's vowed to issue mandatory workplace safety rules that employees must follow to protect workers from the virus exposure. It's likely to be one of his first big fights with American businesses and a test of how far he can go to create a national strategy to slow the pandemic that is still raging out of control. Employers, which until now have been treated to a flurry of optional guidelines by the Trump administration that have been revised and rewritten throughout the coronavirus crisis, are bracing for the new Biden rules. Biden and his allies believe that national set of rules for employers could help workers return more quickly to their offices and other workplaces, since everyone would be following the same emergency standard rather than a patchwork of state by state, county by county regulations. He's about to go nationwide with this. Okay? So what do you think it's going to be? It says, Burstling, who oversees human resources at National Agency of Manufacturers, he says Biden's plans will leave businesses with little room to weigh in on how the rules affect their specific industry once the emergency standard is in place. My question is how is this going to be enforced? Are there going to be spies that work in different companies to turn in companies? It's about to get crazy. Let's go on to article number 5. This is from yesterday from WND. Your papers, please. Is this the COVID new normal? When will freedom, liberty, revolution begin? Will there be another Tea Party movement? If Joe Biden prevails, something will have to be done and on multiple fronts. But for now, let's just concentrate on the left's favorite pandemic, virus, where the cure already has been and will continue to be exponentially worse than the virus. The Biden-Harris office of the fall president-elect is already gearing up to lock the nation down and institute nationwide mass mandates, but still they say they're uncommitted. Prior to the election, Uncle Joe was asked whether he would issue a mask mandate. He said he would not rule it out. That's code for you bet your dog-faced pony soldier I will. But prior to the election, I'm sure as hell never going to say it. Great point right here. I saw says I can also foresee them as a tip of the hat to their big donor trial lawyers lobby, removing any amnesty up from accountability lawsuits for private industry effectively hanging out to dry to be fed by prosecutors. Now, remember a couple of years ago when George Soros was buying prosecutor races all over the nation? Now we know why. So when they bring up the people that don't want to go along with this virus, there will be prosecutors to do their dirty work for us and arrest us. The article goes on to talk about Ticketmasters needing you to prove that you took a test. And he says, is this the new normal? More than likely, yes, as other corporations follow suit in an effort to curry favor with federal overseers and, of course, woke social media. Will we eventually be forced to carry our papers with us at all times to be granted access to Home Depot and Walmart and McDonald's or even a 7-Eleven? Will this nonsense devolve into random checkpoints and proof of vaccination before crossing state lines? They're already talking about that. I know this sounds hyperbolic, but if it's left unchecked, it will happen. I'm just going to call this article 5A. I'm putting it with show us your papers. Dr. Fauci said yesterday, now is the time to do what you're told. He says, I was talking with my UK colleagues who are saying the UK is similar to where we are. I need to move, because each of our countries have the same independent spirit, he said. I can understand that, but now is the time to do what you are told. Now, it's not just me that's concerned about this. Conservative Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito warned Thursday night in a Federalist Society speech in Washington that the virus pandemic has led to unimaginable curbs on individual liberty and, quote, ruled by the experts. No law has been passed. They're just doing what they want to do. Alito says, quote, we have never before seen restrictions as severe, extensive, and prolonged as those experienced for the most of 2020, he said. The virus has served as sort of a constitutional stress test. And I did a video a while back that it was an article, don't think your constitutional rights are coming back after they've taken them all away. So article number 6 is going to go in with this article from number 3. Okay, article number 6 says, government advisors suggest giving COVID-free Britons permission bracelets. Permission, like we're in kindergarten to get the little hall pass permission slip to walk down to the bathroom. Behavioral experts, because our behaviors have to be controlled. Behavioral experts advising the British government have suggested giving people who test negative for the virus wristbands that would allow them to travel and enter into venues, while those who did not have the wristband would remain under lockdown. Are you going to be a good little boy or girl? Come get your little wristband. Come get it. Do you want to go with your friends down the hall? Well, then you need to come do what we're telling you and get your little wristband. Really. I applaud this lady in Australia for having a backbone. Okay? The Great Reset of capitalism is a threat to our way of life, says Australian Senator. A motion by One Nation leader Pauline Hanson calling on the Australian government to boycott the World Economic Forum's Great Reset agenda was blocked in the Senate on November 11th. So this is not conspiracy. The book COVID-19, The Great Reset by the World Economic Forum that says they're wanting to push us into a complete global reset, politically, societally, financially, every way. She's saying that this is a threat to our life, and she put in a motion to block it, and it was blocked. Hanson said the policies of the Great Reset would destroy Australia's economy, push socialist and neo-Marxist policies onto Australians, and pave the way for big controlling government, suppression of free speech, and reduced property rights. It is an absolute travesty. It is an absolute travesty that the Australian government has sided with the globalists of the World Economic Forum and their Great Reset agenda against the interest of everyday Australians. She is speaking out. I pray for her safety in Jesus' name. So There are good politicians that know how the game is played, that can connect the dots and see where we're headed, and we've been talking about it, and now they're putting it out there in the public arena that totalitarian is where this great reset is going to take the world. Article number 8. If Biden becomes president, Democrats' crackdown against Trumpers will be swift and severe. Now, this isn't a joke, okay? Let me show you something in this article. It says right here, in case anyone thinks this is hyperbolic, let's look at some of the evidence for that assertion, how they're going to come after Trump supporters. It talks about people that they've already prosecuted, journalists that have come against Planned Parenthood that were filming what Planned Parenthood was saying and doing, and now Kamala Harris's successor is going after them because Planned Parenthood was big contributors to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So let's keep going. Pay attention to this part. Do not think the Democrats are going to forgive and forget these last 4 years either, or even the fact that the blue wave they predicted for 2020 washed up weekly on the DC beach. Michelle Obama tweeted that we need to connect on what unites us, but that it is important to remember that tens of millions of people voted for the status quo, even when it meant supporting lies, supporting hate, chaos, and division, which I'm sure you'll agree sounds like someone eager to work with the hateful, divisive, and chaotic liars that stole the Democrat birthright for 4 long years. As Alexandra DeSantis of National Review put it, unify with us, you liars and haters. That's pretty tame compared to the rant. Now listen to this. Sportscaster and unhinged leftist Keith Olbermann launched on his YouTube channel shortly before the election. Beating Trump, he bellowed, isn't even close to enough. He and his enablers and his supporters and his collaborators and the Mike Lees and the William Barrs and the Mike Pences and the Rudy Giulianis and the Kyle Rittenhouses and Amy Coney Barrett's must be prosecuted and convicted and removed from our society. While we try to rebuild it and rebuild the world Trump has destroyed by turning it over to the liars. He says, I'm not sure how tens of millions of people are going to be removed from society, or how Amy Coney Barrett, William Barr, Mike Pence, for that matter, can be prosecuted and convicted. Okay? So they are hot. And you don't give your enemy power over you and think they're not going to do something to you. Article number 9. I'm sure y'all have heard that 20 million Americans could have the virus vaccine within a month. Within a month. It's not a joke anymore. We really need to get our hearts right. Take away anything offensive in our hearts to the Lord, any actions that we're doing that's offensive to the Lord. You have to ready in your mind that the Bible says in the last days that enemies are going to be those in your own house. Okay? So let's say one of your family members goes and gets their little bracelet. Oh yeah, I want my bracelet. Oh, but my mama, she said she's not getting this because she said blah, blah, blah. You remember how when they were wanting doctors to ask kids if their parents had guns? So now, let's say your niece goes, oh yeah, I'm getting my, but my Aunt Margie over there, she says that this is crazy, but I keep trying to tell her that this is real. You need to ready yourself that the lines are about to get drawn. And remember, either you get the little trinket bracelet to go with them or you don't. You get to go back to work if you comply or you don't. The lines are about to be drawn. This is getting real. And the last article, number 10, before I even click on it, y'all brace yourself. Brace yourself. And you thought Hillary Clinton was going away? Let's go to article number 10. Joe Biden is reportedly considering Hillary Clinton for the ambassador to the UN. According to reports, Joe Biden is considering Hillary Clinton for his administration's ambassador to the UN should they be able to pull off the steal and win the election. Clinton's perpetual quest for power that she can capitalize off means that she is likely frothing at the mouth for the chance to fill one of the most senior diplomatic posts. Okay? So, it's about to get real oppressive. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.